You are thinking about an RV garage and you think you can't afford it? Think again. I have something amazing to share with you. And here's how it went down. Someone just like you was watching my videos and they said, it might be too early to call her, but I really, want to at least start to set the pathway. I want to buy next year. And here's what I want to spend. So we did a Zoom meeting. And then in that meeting, we talked about 400,000, right around 400,000 was their price point. Maybe a little bit more, but they honestly were like, "Yeah, I just don't think this is going to work." And I said, "Where did you get the $400,000 price point? And is it really the price point we're after or what the monthly expense is?" Turns out that these amazing people were paying $2,500 a month rent. They knew that buying a home would be a little bit more, but they didn't want to be a lot more. So I asked them what their budget was. They said, "We can go up to $3,000 per month, but we want an RV garage." And they were a VA buyer. Thank you for your service.
Sir, I just want to say thank you.
And that meant that they were putting zero money down. Okay. So the challenge was big. And I said, "Give me a couple hours. I'm going to call you back." So we set up a Zoom meeting. We walked through all the must haves, the criteria, the do's, the don'ts. And here's what we came up with. We landed in a city called Surprise. Surprise! I actually haven't done a video on Surprise yet. Well, yeah, I guess I did. I talked a little bit about Sterling Groves, which is a luxury community in Surprise. But for the most part, there's a buyer for every home and a home for every buyer. There are some pros for some people and some cons for people. And how you weigh out those pros and cons depends on what you are looking for and what your budget is. This particular young family was veterans, and they were already receiving VA income of a sort. I won't identify it. So they wanted to be within close proximity of Luke Air Force Base. This again, you guys, is what we do is we peel back that onion. You come to us with your criteria, what you're looking for. There's sometimes it can't work. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, but if we can make it happen, we're going to find it for you. So they told us they wanted to be close proximity to Luke Air Force Base, which means the west part of the valley. Let's talk about where Luke Air Force Base is because it's located in the city of Surprise. But when you look at the boundaries of Surprise, there's a lot of different areas. Here is the greater Phoenix area. And I purposely put this particular layer on here because I think it's really important that people pay attention to roadways, freeways, okay? And the funny thing is I'm doing this video on a Monday at 4 p.m. our time. And so you're going to start to see, it's very interesting. We're starting to see green means it's flying. If you haven't noticed, the Phoenix area is in the news all the time about our crazy drivers. We speed, we go really fast. That doesn't mean our speed limits are like you go to Montana, some of the speed limits on those open roads are like 85 miles an hour. No, they're really 65 or 75 here, but it wouldn't be uncommon to see people flying down our freeways over 90. So that's just something to be considered, to be aware of. But right now at 4 o'clock, these green areas where people are probably doing 90 are starting to turn yellow and are starting to turn red. So this is a great map, by the way, to use when you guys are looking at different areas, and make sure you look at different times of the day because it'll show you how difficult it may or may not be to commute around for you. Now, if we go over here to, obviously here's the central Phoenix area, and this map over here with the red dotted line, let me actually do this. This area right here is the Surprise area. But if you zoom in with me here, this red line is where Surprise is. This part of Surprise is going to be more infill. It's going to be a busier part of Surprise, and it's an older part of Surprise, okay? But this is an area where you have a ton of shopping and dining, and I wouldn't necessarily say great schools. One of my favorite communities over here is Marley Park. Marley Park is a very unique part of Surprise that has a CFD. If you haven't watched my videos before, you should. But some of the communities, some of these master plan communities have CFDs, and just something to pay attention to, especially if you are on a tight budget. Now, but this area right here is going to be a lot of 55 plus communities, but that doesn't mean that there aren't 55 plus people that live in this area, because let me tell you, my amazing associate, Jesse Lee Reed, and I did a little recon when we stopped off at the Fry's grocery store shopping center area, which I will get to later in this video. We are going to look at a community that is located right here in Surprise. And although I know it doesn't look like it's super duper far from everything, let's take a look and see what that really. So although the 303 has definitely brought a lot of accessibility into the Surprise area, if you're too far off of 303, man, you are driving out on 2-lane roads, maybe 4-lane Grand Avenue. Let me show you what this looks like. This, by the way, while I'm driving on the road to Surprise, this was a Saturday afternoon. So let me tell you, Monday at 5 o'clock on Grand Avenue, heading northwest, it's going to be quite busy. So you got to love your vehicle, have a comfy little seat, because you're going to be doing some road time. Let's head on out to a new community called Rio Rancho, and let's take a look and see what is out there for you guys. So this part of Surprise, as you can tell, 20 years ago, or even 5 years ago, was predominantly rural property. So there was a lot of people out here that just really wanted to be left all by themselves. They had definitely many acres, but one of the things Surprise lacked is not only the infrastructure, not only the city services and things like that, and the shopping and the retail and all that stuff, because when you go rural, you go rural. There is literally no direct mountain views. There's not a lot of elevation in this desert. It's not the lush desert that you think of. There's not even a lot of cacti here. There's literally, it's just dirt and sand. So it was a very unique person that liked to live out here, because there are more desirable rural areas in and around the greater Phoenix area. However, Surprise has always been known for its most affordable land. So that continues as we get into the new building that they are building. It is still very affordable, because outside of your home, outside of your community, it doesn't have a lot to offer. I still stand on that, just to let you know. As we're driving into the community, you can tell it's so new. So there's really not a lot of even trees that the builders have planted. And here's what I notice as we turn into the community. This is a rental community. This was specifically built as build to rent, and it's in between this community with Richmond American and D.R. Horton. And I just kind of have to say, boo. There are other rental communities like this, and I'll talk about that later. I'm not excited to report that Surprise has a lot of rentals. There you have it. All right, as we drive into Richmond American and what we're here for, this amazing family is so excited about being able to afford not only their dream home, but they have choices. Here's the thing, guys, I'm a numbers girl and I peel that onion apart. So I asked them again, what's important to you? And it was, they wanted to keep their payments under $3,000 a month. They were paying rent at $2,500 with the incentive that this builder is offering. At the time of this video, they were able to get into this home with almost no money down. No down payment, and the builder is paying the majority of their closing costs. They're also offering an extremely low interest rate, and it's only going to be running them about $2,800 a month, and it is their own home. So let's take a look at this model. Thank you, Jessie Lee. Show us around.
Let's check it out, guys. Come on. All right, this is going to be the bronze floor plan. It's 1640 square feet. We have 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, an RV garage, and also a 2-car garage. So right here up in the front of the home is you're going to have your 2 bedrooms plus a bathroom. So let's check them out. You have a full-size bed in here. 1640 square feet, so the bedrooms aren't going to be, you know, real big. Check out the secondary bathroom there. This is the model home, so it's going to be a little more upgraded for sure. You saw that tile in the bathtub there. This will be your second bedroom up in the front of the house, so it's a split floor plan. This would be the 2-car garage. Right now it's the sales office because we are in the model home. And then here is the laundry room. So if you want to take a look at that. It's got some built-in shelves, which is going to be an upgrade, plus the sink. Let's check out this living area. Quite spacious. Got your dining area there. It's just all one big wide open space, which is pretty desirable for a lot of our buyers. It's good for entertaining. Let's take a look at the pantry. Nice size walk-in, a little bit of a walk-in. And here on the far end of the house is going to be your primary suite. Now this is a nice size room. You've got a king size bed, plus your nightstands, a nice dresser. You could hang a TV. I think this is a nice size room for your master, especially at 1640 square feet. Come on in here to the bathroom. Got a walk-in shower, double sinks. And then at the far end over here is going to be the walk-in closet, which I think is pretty big. Look at all the space you've got here.
Ta-da!
All right, yep, built-in shelves, that's nice. So what you guys think? I just remembered, let's look at the backyard. It's beautiful out today, by the way. You've got these 4-panel sliding glass doors. We'll see if that comes in this back home, but this backyard is a great size lot, in my opinion. You could do lots back here, definitely big enough for a pool. As you can see, they've added a nice large pergola, plus some turf, plus pavers, and there's still room to spare. It's a beautiful day. Built-in barbecue, but yeah, as you can see the space, you can do a lot back here. Also, this RV garage has the double doors, so you can pull all the way through, which I think is really nice. If you had both those doors open and working on your RV or your razor, whatever fun toys you want to put in there. So I believe some of the specs have that back door and some don't. We have to check out the inside of the RV garage. So possibly this would be an upgrade.
Wow.
Now, here's the great thing, guys. So we do this all the time. And if this is, again, something that's of interest to you, you got to give us a call. We do virtual showings. So although we're doing this video for you today, the day that our buyer wanted to get out there and they weren't here in Arizona, we headed on out there and we were showing them via FaceTime the model. Now, again, this is everything that the builder has online, but this is firsthand. Like, open this door, open these drawers. What does this hallway or laundry room feel like, etc. It's very different. And again, this is the added service that we provide.
You're welcome! Assemble on me.
Now, here's the great news. Not 1, not 2, but 4 different choices of this model for our client. So we literally went to every single spec to show them. By the way, that's what they call them, spec homes. Here's the thing, guys. The spec home is where the builder picks the floor plan. In this case, it was the same exact floor plan. They pick different options and upgrades, and they put in some, you know, they don't overbuild. And especially these national builders. This is kind of their performa on how they do it. And they'll put different upgrades and options in each of the homes. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you spec number 1, and then we're going to compare that spec number 1 to number 1, 2, 3, and 4. All of them are the same exact price, but they're all just a little bit different. And we're going to share with you each one. I want you guys to watch all of these, and I want you to tell me which one you would have picked. And then we'll we'll respond to your comment, and we'll let you know if you picked the same one that our client did.
All right, guys, come on into the spec home. Let's take a look and see the differences between the spec and the model. Right away, I can tell that this is laminate flooring versus tile. But as you can see, there is tile in the wet areas. So in the bathrooms, you will have tile, and then in the bedrooms, you have carpet. But it's not an upgraded carpet. I would say just take what's been given to you here in this home. You're gonna end up replacing it in a few years anyway, probably. But yeah, everything's been finished, picked out for you in the spec. You can see the differences, right? Like this is fiberglass shell where the other one had tile around the shower. So yeah, fiberglass shell all around here in this shower. So definitely not an upgrade there. Now let's check out the laundry room and see what the differences are here. The other one, if you remember, the other one had built-in shelves, and it also had a sink. This is plumbed for a sink, so you could add one if you want, but it doesn't come with one. So there's the differences there. And then instead of the sales office, you're gonna have the 2-car garage here. You can really see what it is like to have the 2-car garage plus the RV garage connected. I see a difference already here in this spec. I will tell you in just a sec. Like, you don't have the back door, so it doesn't have that pull through in this one. As you can see, there are no AC splits and there is no epoxy flooring. This does have a service door, which I think is fantastic. People use them more than, they're pretty handy for taking garbage out and things like that. So yeah, it's quite different when you don't have that back door. The tankless water heater was in the RV garage, so this is a little bit different. It is the same floor plan, but they have it, maybe just because the model, they did it that way on that one. So, but anyhow, you have tankless water heater, so that comes standard with the spec. And also you have plumbing there to add a sink in your garage if you want. So a lot of folks like to do that, especially if you're working in the RV garage. Okay, so we've got the garage there. Coat closet there. Let's take a look. Oh, what a difference, right? Without all the furniture and the staging. Laminate floors throughout here. No refrigerator, same walk-in pantry. It's nice, it's very white. It's what comes with the home, and you know, I think it's nice. You can make changes if you'd like. Let's check out the backyard. Okay, what I like is that this is the extended patio. I wasn't sure if in the model, if that was, you know, an upgrade, but this is a very nice, large, long patio. But yes, when you buy a spec home, it's gonna come with a dirt backyard, but so you'll have to budget to add that in. Pergola, turf, things like that. So right over here, this is a view fencing right here. Oh, look, you've got razors zooming by. There's a walking path right here. This is actually really nice because you don't have anyone on this side of you, and you have that nice walking path there. There are single story homes around you, which is nice for privacy. The model home had the door for the RV garage, but this space, it just kind of gives you a little bit more space to work with. I mean, because you could actually do a pergola that you could add onto the house or something over here because it doesn't have that door. So, all right, let's take a look at the primary suite, and see what the differences are in there. Oh, one thing I also like to point out too, in the model home, they have fans. These are pre-wired for fans, so it does not come with fans. It does not come with window coverings. So you could put a fan and a light there, and also window coverings are missing. Also, these pendant lights. So it's pre-wired for pendant lights, so you can pick out, you know, whatever style you like, but it doesn't come with the home. So something to keep in mind. This is nice. I like when they have that to hang the TV. All right, let's walk on the plastic. Wow, actually seems a lot smaller without the furniture, for sure. See, no window coverings, no fan there. And it's not that Berber carpet, but like I said, you can make changes down the road. All right, you've got tile in here, just like we talked about in the wet areas. Oh, I actually like this. That's cute in my opinion. I like the tile and the what they've done on the ground there, that tile. I don't know what to call it, tile. All right, and then the carpet in the closet, same size. You've got built-in shelves here. I can't remember, the model might have had built-in cabinets there. But those built-in shelves are nice for linens, towels, things like that. Pretty nice spec, I'd say.
So spec number 1, same price, all of them are same price. The things you want to pay attention to on this one is it doesn't have the back door in the RV garage. It doesn't have a neighbor next to you. That's a plus. So the lack of the door is down. The no one next door to you on one side is a plus. And then you're looking at the colors. And there's no appliances included in this one.
Now we are at a spec home number 2 that I want to show you. It's got some differences than the other spec that we looked at. One thing I really like about this particular lot is if you had a big old RV garage or toys or whatever, you have this big open space so you can pull in and out a lot easier. I like the color of this house, personally. Favorite driveway. Let's take a look inside and see what the differences are. Okay, we've got laminate flooring again here. Tile in the wet spaces, as well as, I believe that's the same carpet. It's a little bit different color. Continue on down. Let's check out the, ooh, it's locked. Let's check out the garage in the RV garage here. There you go, look at that. Well, there's 3 openers. You know what that tells me? It tells me something. Look at that, you have the back door so you can pull through. So if you take a look around behind you, imagine you have so much space.
Look at all this floor space.
So
You
much,
can do aerobics in here.
so many activities.
Okay, one thing I have to tell you that I noticed, 2 stories behind ya. The other spec we looked at just had 1 single stories, all around. This home has got 2 stories all around you. Yeah, you still have your extended patio, same size lot. You've just got 2 stories around. Still have the 4-panel sliding glass door, which I love. And you do have the service door on this one as well, which is nice. All right, tankless water heater, just the same as the last spec, and is plumbed for a sink, should you want to add one. It's very similar. Everything else looks the same in this one. Although this does have a refrigerator, washer, dryer. I noticed that in this spec, yeah. Primary bathroom and see if there's any differences in here. No, you know what, I want to say it's about the same. This tile is a little bit different, but it's similar. It's pretty, in my opinion. I like that. Yeah, same built-ins and everything, so. White cabinets.
Now spec number 2, this one is facing a little bit differently. This is facing east-west. The front yard has a direct access to a street in front of it. So if you are pulling trailers, RVs, etc., this is great if you're not a super good trailer backer upper, right? And you can literally just go in and out like down the street kind of a thing. That's a big plus. Now here is something that I noticed about this house that, like, at this point, I'm loving this house. I'm kind of okay with it facing east and west, because don't forget, in Arizona, actually, I think it's in most states, is you ideally want your front yard to face north. You want your backyard to face south. This will give you optimal summer usage of your backyard without the direct sun peering in your house. So we can talk about all the different directions when you give us a call. This particular one, the front yard is facing west, so you're only having like one window. The backyard, because the house is so tall and the way the RV garage is there, you'll have a lot of shade. Just take a look. My biggest negative on this one, I was so mad. On the other side of the fence, on the backyard, it butts up to that rental community. And here's the thing, guys, the salespeople do not tell you this. I had to ask. And even when I asked, her response was kind of like, yeah, this is what I mean by the sales reps do not represent you. As nice and friendly as they are, they love you. They want to do everything they can to sell you, but they are not looking out for your best interest. So we advised our client that look in the back of this house. You have a 2 stories compared to the single stories on the other house, and they're rentals. Always will be rentals. And as you'll see from my aerial views, all they did for these backyards is put in rocks. You know what that tells me? It's going to be a lot of weeds. And if these renters have dogs, there's going to be a lot of dog poop. Who wants to go pick up dog poop in a bunch of rocks? Just saying. I wasn't in love with, like, I love the fact that it had the garage door pull through. Yay. East-west facing, not my favorite. Love the extra room in front of the house. Comes with refrigerator, washer, and dryer. They're sweetening the deal a little, aren't they? Let's go to the next home that's right next door.
Let's take a look at this one real quick. It's right next door. This is also laminate, but I like the color. It's darker, and the carpet, I believe, is a little bit darker as well. Oh, you know what else I see here? You've got black hardware. This is nice. This is clean, in my opinion. But you still have that fiberglass shell like in the others. But this black hardware makes it look a little nicer. And the darker floor looks classier, in my opinion, as well. Garage. Let's take a look. Thank you. All right. Let's take a look and see. Yes, we have all 3. Oh, this spec actually is going to come with epoxy flooring. They're going to install that this week. So that's a plus. So what I'm thinking is the builder's trying to sweeten the deal a little bit by adding the epoxy flooring. This is an east-west facing home, and it's got 2 stories all around behind you. So, and it also comes with a washer, dryer, fridge, right? Sweeten the deal because you've got no privacy and you're east-west facing.
Now, this home, still facing east and west, doesn't have that big street in front of you, so it's not as ideal. Still has the rental community behind you, but this one has the garage pull-through door. It also has refrigerator, washer, dryer, and epoxy floor in the garage. They are really sweetening the deal. And this one, in my opinion, and according to Jessie Lee, she likes the design too. All right, one more spec, and then you guys got to make your comment below and tell me which one you liked. This one is back over by the first one that we looked at, so it's facing north and south. It has a north-facing backyard. If you'll notice, it has a little bit of a slant in that backyard. Single stories around you. It has the pull-through, but here's what it doesn't have. It has a shorter patio cover in the back. And it doesn't come with a washer and dryer. And the neighbor behind you already has some kind of contraption back there. So each one has a plus and each one has a minus. And this is where you as the buyer, the client, now have all the details and you get to pick which one works for you. What do you think of this one coming at you now?
All right, guys, let's check it out. The last, but perhaps the best. Let's see what the differences are in this spec home. Oh, I can already tell. You've got that darker laminate flooring. It's more warm, it's more modern, and then you have flat baseboards, which is really nice. You still have the tile in the wet areas. as well as that black hardware that I really liked in that other spec. All of the specs are going to be just a little bit different. There's a home for every buyer, a buyer for every home. So one thing I noticed about this too is the paint. I don't know if I noticed that before, but it has this kind of warm paint color, which I like. Let's check out the garage here. I want to see how many openers are there. 1, 2, 3. You know what that tells us. Let's open them. Not opening. It must have stuck. I could open it, but this has the pull-through RV garage, which is fantastic. Same tankless water heater, plumbing for a sink if you'd like. Home is north-south facing, which is more desirable. Boop, boop, boop. This one does not come with a washer, dryer, refrigerator, but you've got this warm, cozy feeling in here. I love the black hardware. This is a more upgraded sink faucet than the other. So the drawers are soft close. Okay. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, this paint is different than the other. It feels very warm in here. Oh, yep. See, so also remember too, you can put the hanging pendant lights. So it's pre-wired for hanging pendant lights as well as fans. It doesn't come with window coverings, so you're gonna have to add that. If you wanted to do shutters throughout your house, they're very nice. It could be approximately $15,000 or so to do the whole house with shutters. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I feel like the black hardware does wonders it makes it look so much more classy in my opinion. And you have that nice tile again, which I really like. But this is my opinion. Stop whispering. I like this. It does not have 2 stories behind you. So not only are we north-south facing, which is more desirable, but there's no 2 stories behind you, so you have more privacy. I'll bet you that is like a batting cage, maybe? Yeah, I know. It's not a 2-story, but yeah, some kind of sports there. Batting cages or soccer. The one next door has that walkway, so you have more privacy on one side of the home. So each house is gonna be a little bit different. You can put some pavers here, or I mean, you could do lots. This is a nice size lot.
I'm going to keep telling you about Surprise and what's around this area and what it would be like to live around here while you're thinking about which home you'd like if you were the one buying. As we wrap this up and our client was thinking about which one they wanted, we decided we were hungry. So we asked the sales rep, we're like, where's the closest restaurant? Because we couldn't pull anything up on our phone. We couldn't even do FaceTime half the time with our client because there was no cell service out here. If this is important to you guys, you gotta let us know. Fortunately, these guys will be working from home and they will have amazing Wi-Fi. That's not going to be an issue. But for people that might need to walk, I'm walking around the block with my pup and I call people all the time. Can't do that out here because you're going to lose your cell signal. So we got she says the closest food, if you want to call it that, is Jimmy John's about 10 minutes away. I'm like, really? Okay. That's where we're going. So we head on down the road. We go to the Fry's Grocery Shopping Center. And this is like the main part of 10 minutes away. This is where everyone's going to be going. I noticed immediately as we kind of like approached it, to the left of this Fry's community is another build to rent community. It is nothing but a sea of exactly same roofs. And I was just like, yeah, there's a lot of rentals around here. Why would anybody rent in Surprise?
Yeah, I'm confused too. We're confused.
It better be really cheap, but I just like, why would you? The reason you drive out further is to afford homes, but I guess that would be cheaper rents too. I don't know. I just don't see the drive. So we go and we have our lunch at Jimmy John's, and as a gentleman comes in and picks up his lunch to go, I said, "Excuse me, can I ask you a question? he looked at me a little funny and he said, sure. And I said, can I ask you, why did you move to Surprise? And he informs me that he too is part of the military. I think he was part of Air Force. And he said he checks in, he works at Luke Air Force Base. And his friend that also works at Luke Air Force Base told him about Surprise. He was originally from Alaska. And so he figured, he would like live near where his friends were. He says, so that's how I landed here. And I said, okay. And then he goes, but I don't like it. And I said, oh, okay. Why don't you like it? And he's like, because I come from a land of beautiful country. And he goes, this is nothing but just flat desert. There's no shade and there's nothing to do. I said, do you get out of Surprise often? He's like, no. He's like, I literally go to work, I come home, and there's nothing nearby, so I don't get to enjoy anything. So I was like, it was a short-lived conversation, and I was like, boo.
Shoot, what a bummer.
I don't know about you guys, but that's not how I'd want to live my life. So we got a good idea. We said, hey, let's go interview some people. So next time I'm going to bring my little mic because we weren't all mic'd up and everything. But here's some other responses that we got from people. We talked to, first of all, we saw, I wouldn't say really older gentlemen, but older gentlemen and kind of like father son. They were walking up and I said, can I ask why you guys live here in Surprise? They're like, we don't live here. We're on vacation. We're snowbirds. Okay. That quickly told me that that's why there's so many rentals. There's a lot of snowbird rentals. That makes sense. Passed on him. And then we saw another guy and it was funny because when we first said, hey, can I ask you a question? He kind of looked at us funny, like, no, I don't want to give you money. I was like, no, we don't need. I said, I just want to ask you, why did you buy in Surprise? And he said that because it was cheap. I said, do you like living here? And he was like, not really. I said, okay, if you would do it again, would you move somewhere else? He said, absolutely. I said, okay, so saving money wasn't a benefit for you to live out here. And he's like, no. Okay. So this was kind of like the general consensus that I was getting. Met a young lady. I asked her why she moved out there. She said that she was from Litchfield Park, which is another part of Phoenix. And I said, well, why did you move to Surprise? Like, you knew what Surprise was. She's like, well, my best friend bought a house out here. We bought a best friend next door and it was awesome until they moved. And she goes, and now I'm stuck. I was like, this I didn't feel the love from anyone that lived there, whether they were snowbirds or whether they were permanent residents. People weren't saying how much they loved Surprise. There was one young lady that told me that the city of Surprise does have a lot of organized sports for adults. Like she said, they have volleyball and kickball and softball. And she said, that's kind of cool. She didn't have kids and we didn't run into anyone that had kids. We actually, it was a Saturday. So I'm surprised that there weren't. So we did notice there's a McDonald's coming. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter what suburb you go to. The one thing that happens in Phoenix, and I only sell in the Phoenix area. I only sell in Arizona. So I don't know what it's like in any other state. Retail and food, it takes a very long time for these things to come out to the suburbs. There has to be the volume of residents in these areas. And then when they get the Taco Bell that's over here and they get the new McDonald's, they're so disgusted with the fact that it's only fast food, even Jimmy John's. They want like small mom and pop shops, little coffee shops and everything. That doesn't happen in new communities. That happens in established neighborhoods like even Gilbert. It took them 20-30 years before they started to see all this stuff. And although Goodyear is starting to build their downtown and they're starting to have all these restaurants and everything coming in down there, it's super cool. It's still going to take a good 10, 20, 30 years. And this is what people don't understand when they go into new construction. You are going into what they call a food desert. Okay. A food desert means you can get food, but it's really hard to get healthy food. So then I said, well, where's the nearest Costco? So we did our little, how close are we to the nearest Costco? From where we were, from 10 minutes in from Rio Rancho, we were still another 15 minutes away. So you're 25 minutes away from the nearest Costco. And so we headed out there, which by the way, is also the closest Walmart. So if you buy out here, you have to be prepared to drive in. Now, let me tell you, we have another family that's coming in from Mississippi. I was told that people that live in Mississippi call it Mississippi. And they said they don't want to be literally within 30 minutes of the city. That was kind of where they wanted to be. There are people that love living out in these more remote areas. And here's the thing too. I met a very nice person that lives in Surprise. They've only been out here renting a short-term rental for August, September, and October. And he says it's really quiet and there's really not that many retirees. And I said, wait until next month when all the snowbirds come in. I can't wait to check in with them to hear about the traffic and the extra lines. And yeah, so those are kind of conversations that you have to have with us. We talk about these kind of things. Like when you're talking to local realtors, I was even told by someone that throws very large open house and luxury tours and things like that, that when they watched my videos, especially like Maricopa, she's like, there are agents that live, work, and play in Maricopa for over 20, 25 years. They know the place like the back of their hand, but yet when you watch your videos, you explain it better than they do. And that's again because we specialize in relocation. You as the consumer only know what you know. You don't even know what to ask. You don't know what to consider, and that's why you have to give us a call so that we can give you all the ins, outs, and I will tell you about the cons. It's not all about the pros.
Keep it real, homies.
And the nearest shopping center is going to be Posada. That's going to be right off the 303. And this is starting to become a good shopping center, meaning more choices. But I'll tell you guys, it's still a ways away. It really, really is. So if you are looking for truly affordable housing, Surprise has a lot to offer. Just don't be surprised if you're driving in for the rest of the quality and everything else that you are looking for. Don't forget about the wildlife and the more remote areas. Look, guys, I want to answer all your questions. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Days, nights, or weekends, we got your back when moving to Phoenix, Arizona. I can't wait to hear from you.